Can we get one more? No? Guess that's it. All right, well, let's get this epic adventure on the road. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Review Week. We've got several things to talk about today before we get to the actual questions and the meat of it. I'm sure you're eagerly anticipating those juicy, juicy answers. But first up, reminder, your exam time next, I don't remember if is it Monday or Tuesday for you guys. It's on the master schedule. Right? I put it there for a reason, so you can open that up and check. Okay, there's the exact day, time when your semester exam will happen. The review that we've been working on, you should have started and ideally completed half the questions over the weekend. We'll work on the other half this week. That's worth a lot of points in the homework category. Okay, so the idea is to help make up for if you were missing a few homeworks. You focus all your attention on this, and it's just going to kind of flood that out with just the massive size of the point pool there. Okay? Although if you're missing a lot of homeworks, then what you should do is get some of it done by Friday. All late work, any extra assignments need to be done by Friday. Okay? That includes homework and classwork activities, which also done by Friday, including the extra credit essay. That is entirely extra credit, no matter how well you do on that, how much effort you put into it, all of those points are out of zero. Okay, it's all going to take you above and beyond. So that's worth doing, but also due Friday. And the quizzes, all the quizzes links are live and available. You got to find that quiz retake link post. And those, though, I have extended through Monday. Okay, so get the late work done this week, save the quizzes, do that over the weekend, as well as the quest, the quizzes test, which you'll be taking this Wednesday. It's a 20-question quizzes. It's like the exam itself, but in quizzes format, which means you can retake it as many times as you need to get 100% in the test category. That's a pretty sweet deal, if you ask me. Free 100% test in the test category. You just got to put in the time and effort to make it happen. Okay? So with that, that finishes my list. Are there any questions from you guys on any of that logistics, end of the semester stuff? No? All right, then let's get into it and start growing great with the review. Here is your quarter 2 review. It's more technically a semester 1 review, but the emphasis is on quarter 2 questions here. You had 108 questions to begin. Ideally, you've done 54 of them this weekend. And I'm working on getting the answers to post. I do apologize for that. I didn't remember in time that my source for book answers comes from the actual, I only have the physical copy of the book itself, so I have to handwrite these things and have a digital edition, because I got to redo everything for this year, because we didn't quite do it all the same as last year. But anyway, so I'm rapidly working on that. I've got, I think, most of it now, so you can see the answers. I'm just going to take a couple minutes to scroll through this nice and slowly so that you can see all of them. If you have your work out and ready, and you start at the beginning and you work through until you got to 50 questions, awesome. That's going to make it super easy. Just go through and check, put like a check or an X or somehow mark what you got right and wrong as we go. And once I get to the end of where I got to here, then I'll open it up for questions, and you can ask about either some of these that are already completed if you need more details, or any that I haven't gotten to yet and you would like me to walk through. I'll answer any question you have today. But otherwise, spend the rest of this class period working on the rest of this review, even if you don't ask me any questions. Okay? But asking questions is going to be great. As for YouTube, if you're watching this later, right, I'm scrolling through the answers here, so at least before I get that post up, this will be up and available for you to scrub through the video here and get to see some of the answers that way. Otherwise, once I get to the end of this, go ahead and use that skip button. If you don't see my screen move, I haven't started answering a question yet. So skip through until you see my screen change, and then you know, stop, pause, and listen, and I'll have a problem to go through for you. Okay, so there is the summer chapter 1 through 4 stuff. Yep, there's probably going to be a matrix question on the test. Can't forget that just yet. The radical expressions should be as simplified as we have here. If you're not rationalizing these denominators, then there was really almost nothing left to do. With the radical exponent, I included two versions here. One with the rationalized denominator, since the book still thinks it's improper to leave a negative exponent, since it's a negative fractional exponent, because that would put it in the denominator with technically a fifth root, right? So it would be a radical in the denominator. They generally don't like that. I, however, since we're talking about moving it to exponent form, I would just put it like this and put the negative exponent on there. To me, that looks much cleaner. So that's my preferred format. I would count either one as correct on the test. Okay, then we got to the quadratics, good stuff. I can zoom in a little bit here, not blocking the view. .48 through 50 technically did not need to be in vertex form, but honestly, you'd be a fool if you didn't, because they gave you the vertex. That's the easiest way to go. And 13 through 16, I had to shove my graphs onto the side here. So let me see if I can adjust. Shrink my face. I'm getting smaller. There we go. That way I don't actually block your view of anything. There's those guys, and then listed right under the graph is the zero, approximate zero, or the range for that approximate 0. Of course, if you're using your graphing calculator, you might have a much more accurate approximation. That's okay. Same with the maximums and minimums listed there. Okay, so there's those graphs, and then the last section I was able to finish up, 7.3, solving with quadratic techniques. All right, so that is the state of the answers so far. I've got three sections left. So close. All right, so now, open it up for any specific questions.
For the summer material, can you go over number 4?
Summer material number, what was that, 5?
4.
4. Identify the domain and range of this. Absolute value minus 4. Okay, domain and range. Domain is allowable x values, and the range is the possible y values. All right. What am I allowed to plug into here? Is there anything that I can put in here and it would break math, usually like dividing by 0 result? I can put positives here, I can put negatives here. I can't think of any number here. Always start with the assumption of, or one possible way to look at this. This is the way I usually think of it. Start with all real numbers and like start eliminating things. Be like, nope, that's not gonna work, that's not gonna work, right? What's gonna give us no results? And absolute value does not get rid of results. We can safely put in any real number there. So that's why we have the domain is blackboard bold, this double vertical line R, symbol for all real numbers. Or you could also put in interval notation from negative infinity to positive infinity, if you'd prefer that. How about possible range? Whatever I put in for x, I'm always going to get a positive number. So the value that comes out of this, from this part, the lowest I can get is a 0, from which I then subtract 4. So the lowest y value that can happen, and you would see this if you made a quick sketch of the graph, would be negative 4. So the y values, the range, can be any y value that is greater than or equal to negative 4. Again, you could also write that interval notation from negative 4 inclusive, so square bracket, comma, positive infinity, parenthesis. Well, since nobody's asking any questions, let's see if I can just go ahead and finish this up. If you haven't done these, don't spoil it for yourself. Not bad. There we go. 5 more minutes. Last call for a live question. No? All right, then I'm going to end the YouTube stream here.